friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is City Skylines. We've been building up this section of town for a little while, and I was just swinging the camera around a little bit to try and figure out where would be a good place to start out, and I decided that this was it. So, yeah, what have we got going on today? Here we are in Lungs. You're familiar with Lungs, of course. Last time around we built this rather magnificent 4-lane strip of highway in order to hopefully kind of ferry people around a bit and get them where they needed to go. It seems to be working reasonably well. It's not without its problems, but it's largely pretty good. What's new, however, and what I've done since you've been away, is I've changed the junction system here. And hopefully you can see how that works. So, over here we've got, chaps that are coming in from this direction. If they want to leave to go to one of these two kind of areas of the city, they can either bail off this section and wend their way, or they can go a little bit further up and depart. No, they can't. Okay, hey, maybe I should put that in. But equally thrilling is the fact that they can go under the bridges that exist there and head out in the other direction. Now, I've abandoned quite a lot of the one-way stuff that I had going on because it was playing merry hell with some of my services. And it's the services that you would usually expect. I built this footlet. There's so much to show you. Yeah, let's let's finish off this bit, right? Come on, man, get your head in the game. So yeah, so basically, I changed the kind of the sprawling, ugly junctioning that I had going on here beforehand, and I've replaced it with this and the same on the other side. And so far, it's working quite nicely. The only thing you need to watch out for is traffic lights. It will stick them on the highway, which isn't ideal, and traffic's light enough that people don't tend to get in each other's way too much. So that's working. Now, as mentioned, I have got rid of quite a lot of the one-way that I've got going on. It still exists in places, but I have got rid of quite a bit of it. This bit here, I think I need to change. Although adding in this second junction has dealt with some of it, because I found that we had traffic that was coming off, that was peeling off here, and then having to go through nothing but these really low density roads in order to get to where they wanted to go. So that's something that I'll kind of monitor on an ongoing basis, but we don't need to worry about that right now. The switched off buildings, cemeteries, obviously still in full effect. But yes, the reason I switched to two-way roads instead of one-way was particularly over here, and it's still busted. Oh no, this will be because the game crashed on me. Yes, okay. The game crashed while I was saving it after having made an adjustment. One-way streets really upset your public services, specifically garbage collection and crematoria. So this chap, where's he actually thinking of going? Can we talk to you at all, yeah, friend? Yo. Yeah, there we go. You're going to the incineration. Oh, well, you're full. Okay, well, maybe it will pick this lot up. But I did have an incineration plant round here, and I got rid of it because it was just it was doing the flick from 1 to 0 that public buildings sometimes do, and it seems to be working again now. Now there's a hard limit on the number of agents that can be out in the game. Agents, for those unaware, are the anything with a destination. So, trucks, public service vehicles, all that kind of stuff. And that limits 65,000. Now, I shouldn't be anywhere near that yet. So the other rumoured reason for it is down to one way. So with a bit of luck, I'm going to sit here and watch. I'll give it maybe 30 seconds and see if it happens. But yeah, basically, we need to get a garbage truck out past here. And so far, there's a reluctance to do so, because in order to get to this bit, the pathfinding is not immediately obvious. You have to go out and then round the roundabout, and then back over, and then into here. And I wonder whether making this two-way will sort that out faster. And the 0-1 flick, are you doing it now? No. I've seen it more often with crematoria than I have with incinerators. Let's. Okay, you've had your chance. Let's ping this around and see if it helps. So if we. No, this. There we go. Now, hopefully, that shouldn't have too dramatic an impact. Look at this. Here we go. Look, that was one. Immediately got a garbage truck turned up. So it's clearly because of the pathfinding. So as much as you know, it might seem dreadfully inefficient in order to get stuff moving, and you can see that, you know, just how quickly people actually want to use it. So clearly worth doing. So the tip of the day there is you know, stay calm. There you go. See, fixed, sorted. In fact, there was so much rubbish there, it swallowed the garbage truck and another one. I wonder what that's done. I think there were probably garbage trucks there losing the will to live. Anyway, that all seems to be under control. Right, so let's go on to the next bit. Footbridges. So you remember I put this park here, and I was debating that actually that was a terrible place. Slow it down here. That was a terrible place to put a park. Well, I found a reason for it. I mean, firstly, we've treed up a fair bit, and secondly, I've built this nice little footbridge for people. In fact, let's hijack someone and watch them at it, as it were. Not that button. That button. There we go. Going for a little stroll across the footbridge. And what this has done, it's a young chap here with a mystical floating teddy bear. That's not normal. What it's done is it's done wonders for traffic, frankly. The number of people who are now able to walk to their destination rather than take cars is really quite impressive. Right, look, enough of you now. Right, so that's this one. Now, over here, I put this one in place because people were wandering up, having taken this footbridge, they were wandering up the road here, and then they were just carving it across traffic in the middle of the road and generally acting in an unsafe fashion. So I stuck another one in here, and they seem to be digging that the most as well. It doesn't really go anywhere useful except the heart of town, effectively. I guess it's within strolling distance of the metro, which is... It's around here somewhere. Oh, it's around here somewhere. There it is, look. There we go. Right, so look, there we go. Metro, 472 passengers last week. Oh yeah, that's paying off. And on the subject of the Metro, I know I've been busy. And honestly, I haven't played very much. As recommended, we've put a third line in here. Or even a fourth line. Is it a fourth line or is it a third line? I think it's the third line. Yeah, look at it. 394 passengers a week. And this one stops everywhere. So it stops here, and then at the lungs, and then out here, and then the same in reverse. So, while that's cannibalised the white line a little bit, much to the disappointment of that particular union, it's doing a thoroughly good job. And all in all, we're, carting 1,000 passengers around a week. Can't complain about that. Right, enough talk. What are we doing today? Okay, so, as I'm sure you noticed, there is a lot of flashing icons going on over here. Why are you unhappy about the trash situation? I'm guessing because that is your way. Let me just fix this, and then I'll do something more practical. Hold on a moment. There you go. Everybody, you should have friends turn up soon. Now, they're all flashing the same icon, and that is not enough raw materials. Yes, there's one we don't see all the time. And over here, not enough people who want to work the jobs. That's the problem. There is down to the fact that my population is very well educated. That's also not ideal. And then over here, low land value. What's your problem? You've got beachfront property galore, and I even planted trees, you miserable gits. Anyway, I saw earlier that we were getting a few complaints from commercial about not enough goods to sell. So the two are inextricably linked. So that the option is, I mean, we can shore up. I did some wiggly stuff here to make sure that everybody could get into town. you know, it's horrible, but that's how you know it's placeholder. Right, yes. So, yeah, so what I need to do is I need to get more goods to here. Now, there's two ways we can accomplish that. The first of which is by connecting a train line up to the outside of the city, at which time, you know, goods will come in. Or we can go and get the raw materials for ourselves. And if we bring up our natural resources map here, first thing that leaps out is that the lungs is, you know, clearly being belongs to a smoker, because this entire black patch here, well, that's oil. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I built one of my major residential areas on top of a major oil field. Brilliant. I'm a flaming genius. Now, we've got farmland over here that I could possibly use to drive some on, but, you know, it's all about the ore, frankly. The ore is going to do good things for us. So we've got a decent-sized ore field over here, and what that's going to mean is a dedicated. Obviously, the solar plant is on another ore field, yeah, because that's normal. Yeah, so that's the other option, right? So we've got one here, we got another one there, and we've got another one here. Now, what I'm thinking of doing, and feel free to comment if you feel that this is a terrible idea, is build a new industrial area over here. Now, I'll need to connect it up somehow to this bit over there, and now that I'm looking at it, I am not happy. As symmetrical as it almost is, I'm not happy with this Thunder Bay junction. Even though it doesn't use much space. I don't know. But yes, I'm thinking, have I got something cheap I can show you this with? Alright, here's something cheap. Let's get a bit of this. Right, yeah, I can blow $2,000 on this just to show you, right? So if you imagine this coming all the way across here, right? Running a train line that has its terminus around here somewhere, maybe not exactly there, that then, let's get rid of that again, otherwise I'll forget what it was for, and then run it all the way, basically in a straight line out to the ore field over here. And so it will be a shuttle train, effectively, just shuttling ore from one end to the other. I have no idea if it will work. That's where it gets exciting. Now, I mean, that doesn't kill options as far as external lines are concerned. As you can see, we've got one running here anyway. But I figured that, that might be a halfway decent approach. Now, I want to do good things with public transport in this playthrough. Specifically good things. I've got plans for the biggest airport the world has ever seen. Well, okay, maybe I'm overblowing that a little, but let's put it this way: a jolly impressive airport is most definitely on the cards. Equally, I want to do good things with trains and boats and all of that kind of stuff. Can I build boats yet? No. What do I need? 26,000 population for boats. So yeah, I'm thinking, around here, sort this junction out properly, build a roundabout underneath, over the top, probably use the double highway approach from there to make sure that the traffic flows smoothly, and ship the goods over. Okay, got it? With me? Thought you might be. So there we go. That's the plan. That's also as much plan as I currently have. Right. Now I'm gonna break what I've been talking about so far, and we will run with one way on this, because if you don't run with one way, the whole thing is a shambolic nightmare. So I'm going to pull this road off here, not because anybody's going to use it, but because that way it gives me a right angle in between my main connecting road there. Now, critical to the success of this, or maybe it's not critical. Maybe I'm just being, a little picky about it. So I want to run stuff onto the highway. I don't want to connect directly up to the industrial area that exists there already. And then, obviously, once this is done, I'll build another industrial area out here, and it should service both. Right, it's got all the makings of a sound piece of thinking, if you ask me. Which is the fatter side. I would say there's probably more land area. See, you've got more width there. See, it's trying to calculate the area of this one versus that one, which could go quite a lot bigger. And obviously this road won't be there. This side is larger. Right. In that case, that's the side we shall put this on. Okay, right, yeah. What are you thinking now? Are you even thinking at all? Because that would be unusual. Okay, one station. Splendid. Now, I've no idea if this is actually going to be happy working in a point-to-point fashion. I assume it'll work, but you never know until you build the thing. Anyway, this is, you know, it's big investment time, so let's bigly invest. I do want to keep it relatively flat. He says, immediately making it anything but flat. Well, you can't help the land, can you? How does that look? Looks rather handsome. There we go. Alright. Where's my are we on a B line? Yes. If I put my industrial area in here, then with the station about there somewhere, I love the vagary of the, you know, kind of like there-ish. That should be grand. Okay, now the big question is, are we going to go under or over? I think we're going to go under. Yeah, and the road can get out of the way. Because this road is temporary. We shall do other things with it later. Yeah, repent your sins. Which way are you going? You're coming up this way. Alright, okay, up you go. Actually, before we do that, let's run the track underneath first, otherwise I'll be trying to negotiate pillars. There we go. I'd have to do the same thing with this rail line here anyway, but... right, there you go, up you go. And then give it some wiggle. And connect on. There you go. Don't worry about the fact that this is a very ugly piece of road. Did I mention that it was temporary? Yes, I mentioned it was temporary. Therefore, it's going to be temporary. We'll do sexier things with it in the future. For now, I just want to keep the traffic moving. Right, same thing with this track. Terribly sorry. Inter-town rail services. But I'm going to do something like that with you. And you can come up here. Thank you. Yeah, you can go over the top. Maybe we'll make a feature of it. I don't know. But come on, get me over the top here. And then give me the wiggler. And yes, that is the official name of that tool. It is called the wiggler. It allows you to wiggle. If that's not what it's called in the manual, doesn't really matter. It's still a wiggler. Okay, cool. So that's pretty promising. Right, what should we do now? Well, let's get out our zoning tool here, and I think we'll keep this. Do we want to keep this two-way? I suspect so. Let's have a look at the outline we've got here. So we could run all the way around here. Basically, it's the base side of this. What do we call that? Hill? Okay. Right. I think I've got a handle on it. We will use the aforementioned wiggler. Skirt around this hill, and they're going to be trees again. I think I figured out what the trees are. Did I figure this out in a previous episode? I don't know. Yes, the problem with the trees, I'm pretty certain, is down to the software I'm using to record with, which, for those of you interested, is DxTory, and only recently has it started acting up, and that's probably got something to do with my having upgraded to Windows 10. I know, I had a moment of weakness, and thought it would be a splendid idea, despite the fact that Windows 7 was lovely. So you can point your fingers and laugh in your own time. Where are we? I think this is actually calling out where the ore is, you know. See how it's just... I'm hoping the video definition shows it up, but it's just light enough. Yeah, it does show that there's ore underneath there. Alright, that's cool. Now, are we going to make this look good, or are you literally going to go around the outside? You know, in as ugly a shape as need be. There we go. Right, what do we think of that? Well, it's got a certain amount of drama to it. Okay, so we've made that two-way. I'm going to need to merge it on and off this highway here. I think some kind of temporary junction will probably suffice for the time being. But in here, we're going to pack this out with just about as much industry as we can possibly manage. And so I think it's probably going to be worthwhile putting in some heavier load streets here. Can you come down here without making a fuss? Oh, look at you. You want to have a word with Train Fever. You want to show it how well you can do that. There we go. Right, so we've now divided that up into zones. Yeah, you know what? That's looking halfway decent. I think I might neaten this bit up a little bit. Just for the sake of making it neater, not because I've missed any of the resources. How do we feel about that? Well, that's neater. What about this bit? Well, there's not a massive amount I can do about that. Okay, right, smashing. And then where's my train line? My train line's here. And obviously this is going to be a heavy traffic drawer right here. So we want to be relatively sympathetic. So where are we talking? We're talking like there, really, aren't we? You know, unless you want to do something more dramatic than that. But I love the idea that it's a straight line from here to the downtown main industrial zone. The only thing I'm going to have to figure out is how we get the workforce over here, because frankly, no one's going to want to drive all the way along here and up there and then round and over here. That's a commute from hell. I think more metro might be our golden boy on that front. Okay, right, so let's fill in some of these. What do we feel about that? That one's all right. I'm not gonna make it too close together because, well, firstly, I don't need to justify myself, but I'm not going to do it because it's going to make for traffic bedlam. And to be honest, the size of this zone is already suggesting to me that it's going to be, how should we put it, tricky as far as traffic is concerned. Let's go like that. No, slope is too steep. Okay, I'll allow it. Okay, right, let's do the same again. So am I going to zone all this at once? Ooh, there's a dilemma. And I think it's a dilemma that I shall leave for next time. So I'm gonna pack all of this out. So you won't miss anything. I'll probably sort the station out, okay, and finish roading all of this lot, and then I'll catch up with you a little later, and you can then comment on my progress. All being well, and with the judicious application of trees, because, you know, trees make everything better, we can make this look rather nice. I know, I even put a bendy road in there. What's the matter with me? So thank you very much for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. Chuck us a like if you enjoyed this one. You know, that's a thing. And subscribe if you've not done so already. Because if you don't subscribe, how in the world are you ever going to find out what happens next? That's a thing humans crave. And you are human. Apart from our alien overlords, who I'm hoping are enjoying the show. they are also welcome to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheerio.
Listen.